Alright guys, I'm here with a bit of information for Dragon Ball Legends. So the official Dragon Ball Legends Twitter accounts have just shown us the next 2 sparking units that we'll be getting in the game. One of which we've already known because of V-Jump, and of course the other character is going to be coming out alongside that specific character. So the first sparking unit is none other than that Cooler Movie Piccolo that we've known about since V-Jump. And the unit going out alongside him is none other than the Cooler Movie version of Super Saiyan Goku. So this is actually kind of exciting, but of course we do have gameplay as well. So with that being said, let's take a look.
I can't just let you go on like this.
Out of my sight! Say your prayers!
I can't lose!
How do you like this? Take this! Get back here! No way out! Time to die! It's over.
So now that we've seen what they can do, let's break it down. Starting off with Goku, it says, Super Saiyan Goku is coming. Goku from DBZ Cooler's Revenge supports his allies with a special cover change and by recovering their health when entering battle. He also gets stronger when they're hit by arts, allowing for incredible comebacks. Okay, now, in truth, this is extremely vague. Although him having a support ability is nice, but it says he supports his allies with a special cover change and by recovering their health when entering battle. So I don't think it's necessarily support-esque, but of course having cover change is always a good thing. From what it seems like in the gameplay, it's strike cover, but I don't think since it's very vague, because they could have mentioned it was specifically strike cover. There's that notion that it could also have blast cover. Do I think it's, he's gonna have blast cover? More than likely not, right? Because in the Cooler movie, we all know Goku was taking hits, well, once he turned Super Saiyan anyway. He was taking hits left and right from Cooler and was barely even phased by any of it. So yeah, it's more than likely just going to be strike cover, right? Which is perfectly fine. The other thing is if that strike cover is going to be limited to a certain amount, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we've been getting a lot of units where they do get cover change, but it's limited to like 2 times or 3 times max or something, right? I think the most recent one being Cell with blast cover doesn't have that limitation, so that's nice, but I'm hoping that this Goku isn't restricted, because I don't think he's gonna be some sort of insane unit, right? That like would need like, strike and blast cover and may need that restriction, right? But again, only time will tell. And of course, the fact that he's able to recover his health while he enters the battle is nice. So I don't know if it's like initially from the first time that you throw him in, or every single time you throw him into battle, he'll recover health. But being able to recover health is nice in general. So there's definitely no issue with that. And he gets stronger when he gets hit. So the question is, what's the cap, right? Because I mean, getting that type of damage buff from receiving damage is good, but of course there's absolutely a cap with it. And that's the real question, right? But it seems like, just based on the description from Twitter, he's solid, but most of his power is going to be high risk, high reward, right? And even though that's not necessarily a bad thing, that also plays into what type he's going to be, right? Because I don't know if he's gonna be a defense type, melee type, blast, range type, or support type, or anything of the sort. If he's a defense type, okay, right? Much like how Ultra Omega Shenron is, where if he takes damage, he's more than likely to come back and hit you much, much harder, right? But of course, he's a defense type, so it makes sense. with this Goku, if he's not that, then that is probably gonna make things somewhat complicated. But again, this is Goku in general, and because of that, I actually think, you know, upon further thinking, I think he'll be okay. And the reason is because apart from being on Sagas from the movies, which would obviously be his main tag, he also falls under Sun Family, as well as Super Saiyans and Saiyans as well. He has a plethora of teams that he can fall into to help keep him safe, especially Sun Family. So I really don't think this Goku has anything to worry about. But that is all we, oh, well, and also his ultimate attack has blast cover, which is nice. But, and his special move is Kamehameha, like all the other Gokus in the game. But yeah, apart from that, the only other thing that we know, because this is also in the new section of the game, is that this Goku will be a yellow unit. That is going to be interesting, right? Because him having strike cover is nice. It definitely is. But if he's going to be on movies, he's going to have to compete with Gogeta. And that might not be that easy, right? Gogeta is still a very powerful unit. Even in this meta, a lot of people still use Gogeta, like Gogeta Blue specifically. And not saying, you know, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is not good, but yeah. Gogeta Blue is still that yellow unit for movies. And this Goku is going to be going up against him. So the way how I see it right now is, if you don't have Gogeta, then this will probably be your yellow unit. If you do have Gogeta and he's relatively, you know, like high star count, like maybe 6 stars or higher, this Goku's gonna probably have to work very hard to either replace that unit or to at least work alongside him, right? Because I wouldn't want this Goku to be just a boost unit. That would actually kind of suck. But it is what it is. Okay, with that being said, let's move on to the last unit, which is none other than Piccolo. So it says, Fused with Nail Piccolo is coming. It's Piccolo from DBZ Cooler's Revenge. Just like in the movie, he has a speed type attacker, or he's a speed type attacker. They get stronger the more enemies there are. Plus, his special move arts inflicts the enemy with timer counts on hit. Okay, I'm actually really happy that we're getting this Piccolo, right? Apart from it, you know, just being Piccolo, it's the fact that regen is starting to get some love now, which is great because for the longest while, all they've been doing is buffing Sun Family. Even with this, you know, this lineup, they're still buffing Sun Family, but at least regen is getting something as well. So that's actually pretty nice. Now, he's a speed type attacker that gets stronger the more enemies there are. So that's actually weird. The way how they're wording it, it seems like he might obviously be either a melee or a range type, seeing that he's a speed type attacker. And it seems that this Piccolo is probably going to be proficient at the beginning of battle because he gets stronger the more enemies there are. The only time you're going to really have the most enemies is around the beginning of battle because everybody's alive, right? So I don't know if he gets to retain those buffs after you wipe out somebody or whatever the case may be. I think there really does need to be a bit more detail on that because that's really vague. But as it's stated, or at least as it seems anyway, this Piccolo is probably going to be best to be used at the beginning of battle until, you know, we understand a bit more details on these units, which we're more likely going to get them tomorrow. So there's also that. And of course, his special move arts inflicts the enemy with timer counts on hit, which is nice because actually his special move is really cool. Like it's one of those more intricate special moves that we've been getting a lot. Like Legends team has been going kind of crazy with these special moves, but the fact that it inflicts the enemy with timer counts on hit is great. Granted, there are characters out there that can reduce, you know, that cost, right? So it really depends on how many timer counts they will get upon hit, and not only that, if it's something that can be stacked, honestly, because if you can shut down a unit, that is a godsend. Again, there are devastating units out there, right? Like in this case, Piccolo's a red unit, right? Or at least from what I'm seeing in the news. So you have blue units out there that could definitely wipe him out. Like Piccolo is not really that safe because of that element factor, right? So I mean, I don't know. Like, being able to shut down a unit, especially one that's detrimental to him, is a good thing. The question just comes down to how long will the timer counts last. That's really it. He does also have an ultimate attack, and I also just remember this is also a buff for regen. So, like I said earlier, regen has been getting a lot of love, which is great because they can, I mean, regen's actually a really, really good tag right now. But again, if it's something that can help dethrone, you know, like Saiyans or Sun Family or hybrids or whatever the case may be, I'm all for it. And from what it seems like, we're getting strong units. I mean, heck, we got Cell, we got Ultra Omega Shenron, which at least as of right now, really, really good unit. And now we're getting this Piccolo, which, even though he's a red unit, so that would clash with Ultra Omega Shenron. If he can at least buff him, that'll help. But they're getting love, and I think that's the most important thing. So hopefully, come maybe the end of the year, maybe the beginning of next year, we can finally see a completely different meta up top, apart from it being the Gohans or the Saiyans or whatever the case may be. And again, throwing these two on sagas from the movies is great. They have competition. I think, again, it's gonna be hard because the way how I see it is with both of these units, it's either if you don't have the respective units, which in this case would be what? Gogeta or Zenkai Gogeta or Bojack for the red unit for movies, or Gogeta Blue for the yellow unit for movies, right? If you don't have any of those guys, then I can see a placement for these two. Granted, Zenkai Gogeta is free, so there's no reason for anybody not to have that unit, so that makes it a lot harder for Piccolo to find a spot, unless he brings something crazy to the table. Whereas with Goku, a lot of people may not have Gogeta Blue, so I can see him working in a lot of people's teams, especially with his kit, which his kit is actually not too bad. But if you do have those units, right, then it might be tough to find a spot for these guys, unless what they bring to the table is just better than what Bojack can do, which based on what Piccolo's able to do, and based on the fact that Bojack has a transformation, and not only that, that awakening ability takes away their ability to vanish and deals immense damage. It's gonna be hard for Piccolo as well to find a spot, but only time will tell. But those are my thoughts on the two units. They don't sound bad, it's just that they have strong competition. That's really it. But I do want to know what you guys think about all of this in the comment section below. But with that being said, I'm Ndukauba, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.